What's going on, y'all? It's Taylor with y'all 106.7, or should I say yeehaw, because the PBR is in Nashville this weekend, and today I'm joined by Nashville Stampede professional bull rider Cody Teel and head coach Justin McBride. Welcome to y'all 106.7.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How are we feeling?
Feeling good. Yeah, we're kind of, fourth fit of the end on the year, and rolling into Nashville here. Excited to get things going here, so feeling great.
Very excited. Have you been down to Broadway? Did you see a lot of cowboy hats floating around down there?
Oh yeah, more than the usual stops that we make on this tour. You see a few more cowboy hats around here.
Oh yeah.
I've not made it to Broadway yet. I got in late last night, and I was not going to Broadway. I went straight to bed. So.
Yeah, probably a good decision. So we're super excited for this weekend. There is 10 teams, 3 days, and 1 championship that's taking place this weekend at Bridgestone Arena. And I want to talk about a little bit about you guys and give you a proper introduction. Justin McBride, the head coach of the Nashville Stampede since 2022, former professional rodeo cowboy, 2-time PBR world champion, and he has 32 event wins, and you were also the first professional bull rider to earn more than $5 million in your career. And your secret weapon is you're a singer-songwriter of country music. I had to throw that in there.
Strong word right there.
Yeah, did I leave anything out? Is that?
No, I just, when you said $5 million, I'm sitting here thinking, where did that all go?
Yeah. Where did you spend it?
Yeah. Various places.
Yeah.
A lot of it on Broadway.
Yeah.
But it's been a lot of fun, and yeah, I've had ties to Nashville for a long time. We've been coming out here. The PBR has been for almost 30 years now, and having great events. And when I got the opportunity to coach the Nashville team, it was a no-brainer. This is by far the best market that we have. The 10 teams, the 9 other teams in this tour, they've got great home markets themselves, but there is nothing that compares to the event in Nashville.
Well, talk a little bit about how it used to be completely individual sport, and then now it's a team. So what's the differences for you?
Well, I mean, for us, the difference is it's still individual in the aspect that each guy has to ride their bull, right? So there's always that part of it, but then it's going to be a combined of how all 5 of them do. So guys, in the past have always really just relied on themselves. And with the team aspect, they rely on each other. And you really see guys, not all of them, but a lot of the guys, and the guys that do buy into something greater than themselves and want to give it a little bit more for the guy standing next to them. Those are the ones that are really successful.
Yeah, I definitely can see that camaraderie that you have together. Cody, cannot forget about you, my friend. Professional bull rider, 2012 PRCA world champion, 2013 and 2015 NFR Champion Bull Rider, and you are a current member of the Nashville Stampede Team. 13 event wins, looking to make it 14 this weekend. Did I miss anything?
Oh, that's good enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just really excited to be here in Nashville. Like I said, our hometown event, and getting to represent in front of the crowd here is something we all are looking forward to.
Oh, that's awesome, and it's always a good time. So talk to me about your coach here, someone who has stood in your shoes. What's that like?
No, it's very cool. Just, all the way from Justin's approach to the sport, bull riding as a whole, and then more specifically in the team part of it, the mission and game plan week in and week out is simple, and just for me, it just gives you those little things to focus on, just basic fundamental things when you're going into each ride. That make a big difference. I don't know. This overall simple approach that really gets the point across is what I've really grown to like here. So.
I want to hear about both of your stories and how you got into this to begin with, back to when you were a kid. Do you remember the first time that you got on a bull?
Yeah, I remember the first time I got on a little calf all the way up until the first time I started getting on bulls. Cody and I were probably pretty similar, and we had fathers that had done it to some level, and that's really, for me, having a dad, a grandpa. Hell, my grandma had ridden bulls. So always being around that and seeing that, it was something from the time I was a little kid that I knew I wanted to try out. And then the older I got, just the more I fell in love with the competition of it and how hard really was and how fun it really was when you were successful at it. And it all just kind of snowballed from there, it seemed like, my entire life.
Yeah, very, very similar to that. I had a dad that rode bulls, and that's what, sparked my interest in the sport. And I was fortunate to have parents that allowed me to dream. Being a kid, all I wanted to do was ride bulls for a living, and, not knowing the real challenges that life, for the real world in life can bring at you. They never discouraged me at all. So growing up, there was no plan B for me. Out of high school, just picked it up and just was able to have success and make it all work. Looking back, it seems a little crazy, that's, wanting to be a professional bull rider. It's a hard path to take and with many challenges, but I was fortunate to make it work up to this point.
And you have children. And so what if your kids come to you and say, Dad, I want to ride bulls? What do you say?
Yeah, no way. I have 2 little girls, so luckily for me, that's not on the board as of now. Yeah.
So do you guys still get nervous when you're about to compete?
Yeah, I would say for me, it's more so just, anticipation. You have those nerves, but it's just
like adrenaline.
Yeah, adrenaline.
Yeah.
By the time when you walk out there and start putting your rope on a bull, you kind of like autopilot kind of kicks in, and you get a good sweat going, and you're just ready to get to it. The waiting around sometimes is, you want to call it, you get a little antsy or whatever. You just, because you put in so much work and the preparation to get to that one ride, and you're just ready to get to it. You're ready to roll. So that's where you get a little antsy.
So walk me through game day. What's your meal?
For me now than it was when I was riding. It's like sending your little kid off to kindergarten. You can tie their shoe and then you send them off. It's just a lot more intense than that, but it's really, really fun and exciting and nerve-wracking watching these guys compete. You can only help them up to a certain point, and then it's all on them.
Kind of out of your hands.
It is totally out of your hands, and it's really fun though.
So I've got some hard-hitting questions. What do you guys eat for breakfast? Like, what's your game day meal? Do you have a ritual?
I do not.
No?
No.
For me,
do you have a song that you listen to?
No, not really.
We have an eclectic playlist, I would say, in our locker room. We've got some Brazilian guys on our team. So it's a constant battle between country, rock, and Brazilian, whatever they've got playing. So we're all over the map on.
It's a wide range of things. I guess the one consistent thing that I do is just I'm gonna have a cup of coffee or two before I ride. That's the most consistent preparation that I put in.
Get nice and jittery before you step on that bull.
Get that quick twitch going.
Yeah.
This might be a question you hear all the time, but what does 8 seconds truly feel like when does it feel like 8 seconds, or does it feel like a lot longer, a lot faster?
I guess, sometimes it can seem a lot longer than others, just whatever the matchup is that day. I don't know. You're really not thinking about it, or you shouldn't be thinking about it. It's just all reaction, and, you're reacting to what the bull's doing. So when things are going good, it just feels pretty smooth. But when it's not going good, you're wishing that whistle would get there a little sooner than later. So.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy. I can't only imagine. I was joking with him. I said, I've rode a mechanical bull. That does not count. That's as much as I can relate to you guys. So what you do is just incredible. And there's almost like a cowboy movement that we're at. People think it's cool to be a cowboy. So I would love to hear your definitions of what makes a true cowboy.
Yeah, and I think you're spot on with the cowboy movement. And I've seen it a couple of times in my short lifetime now. I can remember when I was coming into high school in the early mid-'90s, and 8 Seconds had come out. The movie had come out, and it was like the soundtrack that was out with it, and Pure Country had been out, and like it was this whole really cool movement, and kind of some funky, crazy shirts that people were wearing, the brush poppers and everything. And it's kind of that way now. Like Yellowstone has had this huge impact, and you're seeing a lot of people wearing cowboy hats and wanting to come to the events. And that's really cool for us. I mean, it's great for us. But that's not all there is to me about being a cowboy. It's more about who you are. I don't really care so much how you dress as what you do, and that's from the time I was a little kid, the way I was raised. One thing you have in this world is your word and your name, and you got to do right by both of those. And for me, those are the kind of values that what being a cowboy really means.
Very well said. Cody,
Yeah,
you want to add on to that?
The first thing that came to my thought was just doing what you say you're going to do, being, hold yourself accountable each and every day, and just keeping your word. And I think that's the one thing I've learned in this life that really goes a long way.
Pretty simple things, right? Like
the fundamentals.
Like we associate them with being a cowboy, but what a great world it would be if just everybody tried to live by that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Might be a song title if everybody was a cowboy or something like that.
You might have just nailed it.
I do.
All you songwriters out there that are listening today, there you go. There's your idea for the day.
Yeah. Well, I know we're here to talk about this weekend, but I do want to touch on your music career. How did you get in? How did you pick up a guitar and start?
I don't know if I would call that a career.
How do you pick up a song and start writing, after going from riding bulls, or is something you always kind of did?
It's a crazy story. So way back when I was competing, Tracy Bird was sponsored by Mossy Oak back then, and I was too, and I got to know Bird and Win Varble, songwriter out here, and one thing led to another, and a guy named Tim Dubois called me about making a record, and I just like to sit around and, I'd learned to play a few chords on the guitar, and I just loved to hang out and sit around, and I'd always bring a guitar around after the event was over, and just one thing led to another. It was never intentional, but I got to meet some amazing people. Like I said, I got to hang out with Bird a lot early on, and then Daryl Singletary and I actually toured together and played a lot of shows together. I got to play the Opry. Wow. I got to play the Opry one time with Mo Bandy, which was one of my heroes, and so got to make a record at Billy Bob's, do all kinds of just amazing things, and had amazing musicians in the band. And when I'd go in studio, the first record we ever did, we cut in Reba's building in Starstruck, and it was the players I had were the best guys in the world, the best songwriters in the world. So it was really amazing and really fun, and it just really opened my eyes to just how many talented people that there are in this city and around the country, and I was not one of them. But it was a whole lot of fun. Yeah,
well, I think you have an incredible voice, and we play a ton of Tracy Bird on this stage. So
awesome.
I can totally hear that. You have Cowboy Till I Die, Don't Let Go. I was listening to some this morning, so it's kind of like your two worlds are intertwined together. You're singing really about the cowboy lifestyle.
Yeah, no, and that was for me as a kid growing up. I had Chris Ledoux, right, and I mean every word he was saying, I wanted to live. Mm-hmm. And so when the opportunity did come up, when Mr. Dubois called and I was going to come do this stuff, it was really important for me to either write songs or find songs or have guys write the songs for me that were honest about the kind of life that I led. Mm-hmm. and hoping that, maybe a 14-year-old kid out there that's starting to ride bulls and stuff can find some of that same inspiration that I did. I mean, I remember when people thought, holy smokes, Garth Brooks had Chris Ledoux in a song. That really put Chris Ledoux on the map. To me, that put Garth Brooks on the map. Like, Chris Ledoux was a real cowboy singing about real things that he had lived through. And that's something that's still important to me in music. When I listen to music, and the reason I'm a fan of somebody is when it's real, and that cuts across all genres for me.
Absolutely. And going back to 8 Seconds, we had McBride and the Ride in here a few weeks ago. They were talking about being a part of the movie and the soundtrack, and so it's just very cool the way that country music can do that. It can light a fire in you.
Absolutely. And for me, the reason that it can is because of the honesty in it. When you have those great singers that are singing great, honest songs, it doesn't matter. Again, if you're wearing a cowboy hat and boots, you can appreciate it and really enjoy it.
Yeah. We actually interviewed Garth Brooks too, and he said that Chris was one of his influences.
Right.
So it is,
absolutely.
It is like
I think you've seen it in his shows, right?
Like, he says
the way he's done them and things. Ledoux was the ultimate entertainer.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, ultimate entertainment this weekend at Bridgestone Arena. I'm going to be there, going to be screaming for you guys. I'm so excited. So when you're not in season, tell me how you relax. Tell me how you unwind.
I don't
or you're
know that
always
we do.
in season.
Yeah.
I guess you're kind of always.
I don't know that we do.
Yeah.
Even when you try to in this sport, like I've been retired since 2008, but now with the coaching, with the team and stuff, it's like I can never really let go of it. There's moments where I'm just distracted or I'm doing other things, but it's always
having dreams about it at night.
it's always
nightmares
on your mind, and it's hard to ever really let go of something like that.
It's hard to turn it off. Like you said, you'll have your daily distractions. You get busy doing stuff, but every day you're thinking, or I'm thinking of what do I need to be doing today to get better? And you have to really until the day you call it quits. It's just something constantly working at it, constantly trying to improve.
Mm-hmm. Does your daughter think that her dad is just the coolest in the world?
Oh no, she's my oldest she's 6 now, so she's starting to understand what's going on a little better now. But she sees the day-to-day stuff, whether I'm in the gym working out, and she'll get out there and start getting after it too. So that's pretty cool. She's starting to understand, just kind of everything you have to do leading up to that one ride, what it takes, and so to see her just kind of understanding that, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. Well, I have one more question for you guys. What is your favorite country song from the 80s, 90s, or early 2000s? No pressure.
We're talking about Chris Ledoux. One song of his that I jammed out a lot to when I was younger is 17. That was one that was pretty cool and sticks out in my mind. I've listened to it many times, so I'll go with that.
Yeah, I would have to go with any Ledoux songs, but I do love a lot of the Bird, the Chestnut, that whole era of country music. Those guys were great singers, and they sang some great country songs.
What about you? You got a singing voice?
Not at all.
No. You got some karaoke bars on Broadway. We'll step you up there. And I saw that y'all have your own Nashville Stampede song. Do you guys all sing that together? Do you play it?
So actually, and I believe we're going to be able to get it performed in-house live the first night at the event.
Oh, cool.
Before our game. But Bryce Long wrote that song for the Stampede. So, another perk to being around this city for so many years. And again, going back to the talented people that live here, you're able to get those kind of things done when you ride for the Nashville Stampede.
Awesome. Now, the best way to keep up with you guys is on Instagram. I did not find yours. Now, what is yours?
Yeah, I'm not much of a
You're not an Instagrammer?
No.
I did find you on YouTube, though. Justin Travis McBride. All right. Well, you can find Justin on YouTube. I did find him on there. Justin Travis. Is it Travis Justin or Justin Travis?
Well, my name's Justin Travis. How it's on the internet, I have no idea.
I think it's Justin Travis McBride on YouTube. You're at Cody Teel.
At Cody Teel, on Instagram.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything.
All right. And then at Nashville Stampede is the best way to keep up with the team. We're going to say number one because that is who we're rooting for. Bridgestone Arena. Get your tickets this weekend. Ticketmaster. This is Y'all 106.7.